So you might notice I'm doing this a different way than some people do. Some people will disconnect the lower ball joint and do it that way. I find it, and I've done it many years this way, I find it easier just to disconnect the strut. Now I'm going to make some marks on these strut bolts and nuts. There's two reasons for that. One is just in case one of these has been replaced with a camber bolt, I want to make sure that the alignment is as close as possible when I put it back together. Two is just to make it easier when I do put it back together, I don't have to worry about torque specs on these. Alright, so I'm dealing with two different size bolts and two different size nuts. I don't know if this is stock or if one of these has been replaced, like I was saying. So for the top one, mine is going to be a 21 millimeter on the nut and a 18 millimeter on the head. And then the bottom one is going to be a 24 millimeter on the head and a 24 millimeter on the nut. Yeah, so this one's been replaced with a camber bolt. So that's why I'm glad I made marks. Let's see, that adjusts the camber. And then if you feel like there's too much pressure on this brake line, it's not that bad actually, but you can put a bungee cord there or something to hold it up. So I just wrapped a bungee cord around it and hooked it up to the sway bar link, and you can see that gives it a lot more play. And before you pull this shaft, you're going to want a drip bucket underneath it. You are going to drip out a little bit of transmission fluid normally, and you will want to top off the transmission fluid when you're done with this as well. Now, I just like to use a pry bar. It's usually the easiest for me. I'll come up on the back side of it and try to wedge in between there. Sometimes you can't, but a lot of times you can. And then you can just give it a pop. Usually that'll work. There we go. Wasn't expecting it to fall apart though. Usually it'll hang there and you can pull the rest of it out. Now you'll notice I'm not getting any transmission fluid dripping here. Normally you will. So again, you want to check the transmission fluid when you're done with this, because it should drip out a little bit when you pull that axle out. I'm going to go ahead and get this all cleaned up before I install the new axle. When I install the new axle, you want to look at this C-clamp and you want to find the space that's on the C-clip there. And I'll put a little bit of grease on here basically to hold that clip in place. And you're going to put that space on the clip on the bottom. It's going to make it slide in a lot easier. And then just give it a little tap. Usually you'll hear it click in. Make sure that it's all the way in. You don't want to leave that hanging, so make sure you rest it on something, but check the back and make sure it's all the way in before you button everything up. Have to push down on the steering knuckle a little bit because it lifts up when you take it apart. And then once you get that to that position, make sure you put your bolts back in the same holes, and again push down to get that to line up. Sometimes it can be a little difficult. So I'm going to use this and just kind of line it up from the other side with this. There we go. The camber bolt can be a little bit hard to get in because of that notch. So okay, and then I'm just gonna line these, realign these there. This one lined up. Whoops. Alright, and then like I said, since I made those marks, the alignment's going to be as close as it possibly can right now. And I don't have to worry about torquing these because I've got them back down to where they were. Grab the torque spec on this real quick. All data calls for 242 foot-pounds of torque on this, so I'm gonna put a, you can use a screwdriver here too, but with it being such a high torque, I'd rather use this rod, and that'll hold it there so you don't have to put it down on the ground or have anybody hold on the brakes. And then 242. That's a pretty heavy torque. So. And then what you want to do, let me show you here. So you're going to find this little spot right here, and you're going to indent this part of the nut into that little spot. So I just use a chisel, get it lined up there, and just tap it down. Make sure you got all your lines hooked up, nothing's twisted, everything's good there. Check out the rest of the suspension while I'm under here. Don't forget to top off your transmission. Transmission dipstick is down here with the yellow cap, or not cap, but yellow little thing on it. And then this one's actually still full, so leave it where it's at. Still full. Focus, come on, there we go. You can fill through the check tube. You just need a small enough funnel. If you're unable to do that, there's an 18mm bolt that is down in this area that you can pop off. Let me see if I can show you that. It's gonna be hard to show you guys, but right behind that hose right there, right underneath there, there's an 18mm bolt right there. So if you can't fill your transmission fluid through the dipstick tube, you can pull that 18mm bolt right there and fill it through there. Just move the hose aside, and there it is. And usually that 18mm bolt hits, just so you know, it's on the back side of the transmission over there. But usually that thing is really torqued down, so you're gonna want a couple extensions and a breaker bar to pop that loose. But that should take care of it for you.